Okay, so LG dares ask the question, why lease a BMW or Mercedes when you could lease a water purifier? LG is rolling out a new program in Singapore, not the US, called LG Subscribe. So they're not calling it a lease, they're calling it a subscription. It has no upfront costs, and for 3 or 5 or 7 year terms, you can subscribe to your appliances. Covers everything, including maintenance, parts, and warranty. And it seems to target two groups. One group is young people who maybe have difficulty coming up with a whole payment for an appliance suite all at once. And the second group is doomsdayers who don't think we're making it past 2030. Anthony, do you think this is coming to the US?
I think this is kind of a wild concept. Is it coming to the US? That's a great question. But what I liked about this, and LG is a massive company, so they can afford to do this, is that normally these type of, pay-as-you-go, lease/rent appliances are provided by a third party. So a third party has to make money off of this. LG doesn't necessarily. So their come to market on this is you will save money over time as a result of using this, which is a pretty wild concept because you assume when you make payments over time, it's going to ultimately cost you more. But they're saying that it won't. So I think it's interesting. Will it come to the US? I have no idea, but this will be quite to see how it goes. John?
Okay. And all these people probably ask themselves, why are these three idiots talking about this thing out in Singapore when we're dealing with the North American market? But I'll tell you, you have to understand this is kind of more of a test balloon, right? I mean, this isn't going to be a one-off. LG is really gauging consumer appetite for really what I would consider a radically different ownership model, right? So if the economics here and the feedback kind of track, we could definitely see this roll out in U.S. metro regions, regions where there's a ton of installation friction and service anxiety, and really there's a lot more short-term living situations, right? That's super common now. And when you're looking at this, Anthony, just to kind of further what you were saying about how are they going to make money off this and that kind of thing, if you think about this, it's really going to soften the price resistance that's out there in the market right now, right? If you think of flat monthly fees with baked-in service, that can be a determining factor for somebody. Think about it like this. I walk in and I'm deciding between a $10,000 kitchen and a $9,000 kitchen. Well, now I don't have to do that. Now I'm saying, well, why would I drop 10 grand on this if I can pay $70 a month and never have to worry about repairs for this other one, right? So, I mean, is there that emotional permanence that you can use to kind of sell and help and all that kind of stuff? No, not really. But I think that there are a vast majority of people that are in the market right now that don't really care anymore, right? And when you think about benefit, right, this isn't just a consumer benefit. It's really a retention tool for LG. This keeps customers in their ecosystem, much like leasing a car versus buying a car. I can buy a car and I can go turn it in anywhere, but at the end of my lease, I have to show back up at that dealership and they get another crack at me, right? It also gives them a chance to collect usage data, and it really kind of helps simplify upsell opportunities throughout that ownership process. So if this expands, you can expect other brands to kind of pilot similar things that are out there. So, my advice to salespeople is just keep an eye on something like this, right? Don't dismiss it as it's not for our customer. Because if you think about it, even luxury shoppers, they care about convenience and hassle-free upgrades and all of this kind of stuff that this type of program is offering. So I wouldn't dismiss something like this out of hand and say, oh, it's only going on over there. If this is successful, it could be something that you're going to compete against down the road. So it's worth mentioning.
And remember, it's a subscription, not a lease. But be forewarned, if you put more than 5,000 miles on that water purifier, you will owe some money at the end of the term.